All right, so everybody, I'm going to get started because I think that we have got to 7 o'clock. All right, so, hi everybody. I'm so glad you came here. Thank you so much. I really, really am happy that you decided to come into my room. Very humble. I'm very fortunate. Thank you. So, a little bit about me quickly. My name is Giselle Toner. I am a strategic intervention life coach. I've also been teaching yoga for over 30 years. And I teach a course called Perfect Health, which is a course in Ayurveda. And it's a course that I was taught by Deepak Chopra personally back in 1998. I was very fortunate because it was so long ago, and back then he was actually in the classroom teaching, and I met him and was talking with him, and he helped me with a lot of things. Today, that would never happen. But I was fortunate that I learned from him, gave Simon. But in addition to that, I have helped hundreds of people to make some transformations in their lives, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, professionally, and I feel really good about that because that's what I live for. I live to help people. And I use a combination of strategic intervention, coaching, and yoga to do it. Sometimes I use nothing but coaching, sometimes I use nothing but yoga, and most of the time it's a combination of both. It's all according to what someone needs. I had a very rocky upbringing. I did not have a fairy tale existence. And I think that a lot of you may be able to identify with that. I don't know too many people that have like a perfect upbringing. We all came through some rocky times. However, those things that happened when we were younger or through our lives really were blessings, because what they did was they actually started to teach us some lessons, and that's what it's all about. So through pain, we grow spiritually. And so like I said, I went through all these things in my life, but they were wonderful things because they helped me transform. And it helped me to be able to help other people. Now, I only have 30 minutes to give you, or actually less than 30 minutes, to give you a lot of information, a lot of transformational value. So I'm going to talk really quick. And I'm going to be looking at my computer here to keep you on point because I really want to make sure that I give you everything. But I know that I won't be able to give you everything, but I promise you that at the end I will give you a way to get more if you want it. Okay, so I work with women that are tired of accepting less than they deserve. I work with women who are ready for a breakthrough. I work with women who are just tired of limiting beliefs. I work with women who are ready to ignite their value. And I work with them personally and professionally. So I work with women that are just, want to make changes in their lives on a personal level, and women that want to break through and go higher levels in the business and in the professions. What I want to do is I want to take you through a sample of what I teach so that you can use this information immediately when you leave here. Hopefully you remember some of the stuff. And I want you to be able to really live the life that you truly love, okay? Because it is possible. And even if you're living a beautiful life right now, that's wonderful. Sometimes, we all go through things where we just say, hey, you know what? It's not good. We need to change it. Okay, so now it's no surprise that life has ups and downs. That's really just the way it is. So it's not that you will never have a problem, but it's how you're going to deal with that problem. So you will, every one of us are going to be coming across things in life that are going to be very tough, hard to deal with. But when you learn how to make some strategic moves and change some things within you, it gets easier. It's a lot easier to deal with pain and things that are a setback. So you'll hear people say, think positive. Oh, just think positive. It's all going to be fine. Yeah. Well, you know what? I am a huge fan of thinking positive. I'm not going to say that it's not really good, but thinking positive alone is not going to give you long-term results. It will give you short momentary results because when you think positive, yeah, sure, like momentarily, you're going to feel like, okay, I can do this. But then we revert, we go right back. And I like to use something that Tony Robbins says, because he says something that I thought was brilliant, because he's so brilliant. He says, if you go into your garden and you see all these weeds, and you say, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, it's not gonna work. Your weeds are still there. Yeah. Okay, so, and I'm like, you're right, Tony. The weeds are still there. what happened to all this positive thinking? I didn't snap my fingers and have it happen. Why? Did I do something wrong? No, you did everything right. It's just that it's really not going to happen immediately. So, when I work more closely with women, what I do and what we do is we learn how to bring in psychological strength and emotional mastery. When you learn how to harness those two things, you will see results. No doubt about it. You don't have to think, oh, is that going to work? It will. It does. Because it changes things. It changes the dynamics and the physiology of everything around you. So it goes way beyond just positive thinking. So as human beings, we become addicted to things very easily. We become addicted to food, drugs, alcohol, our computers, cigarettes, gambling, sex, whatever, chocolate, you name it. We have so many things we become addicted to, but I'm going to throw something at you that you may not have thought of. We become addicted to thinking small. And I'll tell you how that happens. When you think small, it doesn't take anything. It doesn't take energy. It doesn't take anything special. It's really easy. You just think small. Oh, well, it was me, thinking small. And it becomes a habit because not only does thinking small take no energy, unfortunately, it actually has some benefits. They're not good, because they're not really good, but it has some benefits, and I'll tell you what those benefits are. When you're thinking small, you become, a little depressed, or maybe major depressed. You might lock yourself in your bedroom for days. I don't know how bad it gets for you. But what happens is you will start to get people that will sympathize and give you a little extra help, a little extra love, a little extra sympathy, empathy, and become the victim. And then after a while, it becomes a habit because it starts to feel good. It's like, all right, I need my love and connection that I'm not getting anywhere else. I'm going to play small and I'll get the love and the sympathy that I need. Okay? Because love and connection is one of the 6 human needs, and we have 6 human needs that I don't have time to go into, but every human being on this planet has the same 6 human needs, and love is one of them. And when you don't get that love from somewhere, you will get it one way or another, and a lot of times we get it the wrong way. So, thinking small doesn't take a whole lot. Now, thinking big, on the other hand, not so easy, because thinking big means you have to do something, because that big thought means that, okay, I've got to stretch, I have to grow. That takes a little bit of work. And let's face it, we're creatures of pleasure. Nobody wants to work hard. If I have an opportunity to sit in life and do nothing, I'm going to do it, right? However, thinking big is even more addictive if you do it, because what happens is you gain significance. And significance is another one of the 6 human needs. So when you start gaining significance because of the fact that you did something big, oh my God, you are tooting your own horn and it feels so good. And that becomes an addiction. So what we do is we take that small addiction and we switch it around to a big addiction, to the great addiction. And that bigger addiction is so much better and it feels wonderful. And you can stay addicted to that your whole life and it's wonderful. You don't have to worry about trying to get off of that addiction. Okay? So, like I said, the higher level thinking requires more work. We have to stretch, we have to grow, and it becomes very pleasurable when you go into that higher level thinking. It actually becomes really fun. It's a simple process also, turning it around into that higher level thinking and that higher addiction is a simple process, but it takes some strategy. It takes some strategic moves. It doesn't just happen automatically. You've got to learn some new things. You've got to start bringing in some differences in your brain, in the way you're thinking. Okay, so now, I'm going to take you through a little exercise. I want everyone to close your eyes. And I want you to sit up in your chair, and I want you to take in a deep breath in, a real deep breath. And on your exhale, I want you to settle and soften your face. And just feel yourself becoming grounded. And focus on your breathing. Just a gentle flow of the breath coming in through your nose, out through your nose. Feel your body releasing tension. And just settle. Clear your just focusing only on your breath. Now I'm going to ask you just a few questions, and I want you to answer them very honestly, silently in your mind. The first one is, what is your dream that you have not materialized yet? Are you truly getting what you want out of life? Be very honest. What is your dream? Something that you want so badly that you can taste it. And it doesn't have to be a physical thing, it could be something that's not tangible. Whatever it is, think of it, hold that thought, and feel it. Know it, know that you really want it. You just haven't been able to get it quite right or yet. The second thing is, right now, what do you feel you're worth? I want you to give a dollar amount, and I know it might sound a little silly, but I want you to bring in a dollar amount of what you think you're worth right now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now. What do you feel you're worth? Give the dollar sign. Now take that dollar sign and take that amount, and I want you to at least triple it right now. Triple that amount, at least. Go higher if you want to, but at a minimum, triple the amount. Now, I want you to imagine that you have that thing that you've been desiring. I want you to bring it in as if it were real and you had it right now. And I want you to feel the emotion that is involved with that. Bring it in, feel it in your bones, feel it in your body, feel it in your emotion. You have it right here, right now. You can feel it. Bring that emotion in. Feel it a few more seconds. All right, now I want you to take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly open your eyes. Good. Now I'm going to take you through three separate, just directives that may start to help you to gain and to get something or the things that you want. The first thing that I want you to do is be brutally honest with yourself about the problem, the desire, or the issue that you have, that you want to solve, or that you want to grab onto, or you want to attain, or you want it to be yours. But be very honest about it. So really feel it, know it. If it's a problem, own it. If it's something that you want, make it very clear. Don't sugarcoat it. But at the same time, don't make it worse than it is. So for instance, if it's something that's a big problem, and you really need to solve it in some way, don't make it so bad that it's insurmountable, because that's gonna signal into your subconscious that it's not doable. So don't do that. Just look at it for what it is, okay? Purely and simply. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to know that there is a new pathway that you're going to take, that you can take, to transform whatever it is. Whatever it is. Something that you want in your life or something you want to change. There's a new pathway. And I want you to know that you can and will change it. And the third thing is, right now, commit to mastering your life. And so I want you to just know that you have the power to change anything you want to. I want you to commit to mastering your personal brand of brilliance, because each and every one of you has brilliance inside of you. You have a gift. You have something that is so unique that no one else has it. There is no competition. When I hear people say there's competition, I laugh. There is no competition. Nobody is you. Nobody has what you have. Nobody. How beautiful is that? There's no competition, right? I love it. But when you really command your own future and your own desires in your own life, it brings out that personal brand of brilliance, and it's a disservice to hold it back, because there are people out there that really need whatever it is that you have, whether it's family, friends, or the world. Okay? So in my own life, every time I hit the wall, every time I got to that dead end, or every time that I hit that bad spot, I turned it around. I turned around and I made it work for me. I just made it work for me. I found another way. I refused to let it bring me down. So I trained myself to take my failures and I turned them into fuel, okay? So right here, we have fear and fuel, and I have acronyms. Of course, now some of you may have already heard about the fear acronym. You may not have heard about the fuel. This is mine. All right, so the fear is false emotions appearing real. So it's false, and please forgive my handwriting, because I'm not really good at writing standing up. So it's false emotions appearing real. False emotions appearing real. Now, we've got fuel, FUEL. Feeling, oops, feeling, unlimited, feeling unlimited emotion, or rather empowering love. Okay? Feeling unlimited, empowering love. And because love is what makes this world go round. We all need love. We all need that connection. But let me just say something. You need love for yourself first. Okay? So you take that fear and you turn that into love for yourself. Because unless you do that, you cannot do anything. You cannot be good for anybody. You just can't. So that's what you need to do. So it took decades for me to get that. Really, decades. I'm pretty old. And so what I did was I took strategic coaching, my strategic intervention knowledge, and my experience with yoga. I combined the two, and I came up with some really, really wonderful things that help tremendously. Okay? Now, the process that I did, I actually have a name for it. It's called the Successful Goddess Blueprint. It takes the most important parts of strategic intervention coaching and the best of yoga. And right now, what I want you to do is I want you to stop accepting less than you deserve. Okay? But when you do that, you do not do it and get tough and hard from it. You actually become soft. You actually bring in more of your goddess power. So you get more gratitude. It means you release the blocks so your true presence can really emerge. And you know, when you start to bring that goddess power in, I want you to expect miracles. These miracles will happen. They really will happen. I can tell you that for sure. So when I work more closely with women, we uncover your unique talents, your gifts, your offerings, and they're things you already have inside of you. They're not things you have to go and find. They're there. You just uncover them. So most people, unfortunately, and this is really true, it's really sad, but most people go to their graves with their grace, and don't let that happen. I want you to step up to your highest possibility. I want you to do that. I want you to do that now for yourself. And that's the space that I look to hold for you. So I can tell you that I hold the space, seeing the bigger possibility, the bigger stretch, that you may not be able to see for yourself right now. And you can step up. You do have what it takes. So when we cultivate and magnify the talents you have, you begin to feel really, really empowered. And then you become of higher service to the world. And that's what we need. This world needs healers. The world needs people that are full of love. The world needs people with talents that you have. And even if you don't go out there and give it to the world, you need to give it to your tribe. You need to give it to your family, your friends, people that are closest to you. You need to be able to develop that in yourself. So I call it, when you actually start to develop that goddess power, because it really is good, you become a magnet. And then you don't go and pursue. They come for you. You can actually settle back. It feels good. And they come to you because you have a gift. And you develop that gift. And you become the most beautiful soul because that is who you truly are. And so honestly, when you start to realize these things, and these are things you may already know, but bringing them into your awareness is very, very important. Because you are the goddess of the temple of your soul. You are the goddess of the temple of your soul. And no one else can do it but you. And so, I want your brilliance to shine. I want you to get out there. I want you to really make a difference. So it is time. It's time for you to ignite value. It's my little slogan. Ignite value. So anyway, we did cover a lot. We covered so much, but I do want to say that as a special gift to the attendees of Goddess Night, what I did was I put together something that's very special. It's just for the attendees. It is a strategy session called Ignite Your Value. And what it is basically is a one-on-one conversation, personal conversation that I will give to you at no cost. And even if you never talk to me again, when you're done with the conversation, you'll have a clear idea of any roadblocks that you're having and some steps to take to make it a little bit better for you, okay? And a lot of people think that this is some kind of a pitch to buy. There's nothing to buy here. If you want to work further with me in the future, that's something we can certainly talk about. But this is basically for you to really give you something special. And I am limited, so there is a catch. You have to qualify, okay? So when I say qualify, basically what it means is that you've got to really want to make some kind of transformation in your life. If you don't, you're good, fine. Thank you so much, namaste, I love you. But there are some people that really do need a little bit of help, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of strategy. So if you're one of those people, I will give you something and you can fill it out, but you have to give it back to me right away, or now. Does anybody want any of these? Okay, so you have to check all the boxes just so that I know you're really serious about wanting to make a change in your life. Because if you don't want to really do something with your life, that's fine. But if you feel like you need something right now, I just want to make sure. There you go. There you go. Anybody else? Okay. I'm going to go right down the line here. Oh, and I have pens and pencils if you need them. There you go. There you go. Anybody else? Here I am. If I gave you two, that's okay. It's better than one. Does anybody need paper and pencils? Pencils? I got these two. Just promise to give them back to me. Need a pencil? Pen. Pencil, that's fine. Anybody else need pens? Okay. Just make sure you check all the boxes and then. Oh, okay. You got one? Just make sure that you fill it out clearly so that I can call you. I will call you within probably 2 days, 3 days, and I will set up a time that's beneficial for you and me, of course. I'm going to be traveling, and I have other speaking engagements that I'm going to be doing this month, so I'm going to be limited, but I will schedule people as quickly as I can, and you guys will get first opportunity, because this is actually an offer that I'm giving to just about everybody that's participating in God's Night. So, but I will make sure that you guys get in there first, so you don't have to wait 6 months. So other than that, if anybody else, if you need to leave, that is fine. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming here. I appreciate it so much. I really, really love giving you a little bit of this information, because to me, I love feeling the power that women have when they start to develop it even further. There's a beauty inside everybody, and it's really, really important that you start to just allow it to shine. It's very hard sometimes for women, especially, not that we're old by any means, because I know there are a lot of really young people here, but as we get a little bit older, we start to lose a little bit of that fire, because we start to feel like, I'm getting older now, and I don't have the flame, and I don't look as good, and whatever, but you need to get past that, because your beauty is so powerful and so strong. Thank you very much. All right. So, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you. Give me your pens, Grace, thank you, Lisa. I'll call you soon.
So when you work, here's the window, but like you would hear that house really cool. And then I was on the beach and then
Yes. Yeah, you're by yourself. It's so fun.
yeah. Thank God for me though.
And I'm sitting here and we actually work. Oh, no, work. But it was, I'm getting emails. I think they have like 5 minutes something more kids.
Well, there's a lot, there's, well, it's like
Coaching trainer, yes.
There's, I bet all my friends forget it.
Oh, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm also,
I haven't had kids, so I look young.
started doing some kind of.
Yeah. And I don't, I don't wear like a lot of, but it's not shit on my face. But people don't admit stuff like when you have your course and shit. So then they sell more shit. So yeah, I wear the shadow of this, but I don't do all that foundation stuff. And it's like,
And all I'm saying is I'm a fan, I'm like eyeliner.
yeah.
I better.
Well, here you get a tan. I love it. My life is like really different than it was 5 years ago. It's a little slow. I mean, Boston has a lot of more cultural stuff. You gotta try it, But
Living on the beach and
snow or where not getting dark when you wake up, not having the dry where it's at. I never drove to work. I lived in Boston when I worked in Boston. Yeah. That's a little outside. I live right there.
That's right. You come from wonderful.
right near Harvard House.
Yeah. Right, Central Square, Harvard Square. Yeah. Do you have a card or?
I do, yeah. I'm finding it out. I actually know, it's funny because I always like, I see you when you know.
It's been great, yeah. Yeah, that's when I reached you. I had
We all have areas.
Simon introverts, so I actually read books about this. I moved down here, it's like a project, and all this stuff, and then I had these revenge parties for my friends and barbecues. And then I established one group of friends, and that kind of fell apart. Like Sex and the City Girls, like two moved, and one did a bitch, and all that stuff. And now I'm actually with like a really good set of girlfriends, and it's been so nice. Like that was my goal.
I thought I would do it myself.
Yeah.
Everybody already has their
That's my friends.
And you need
Kids.
people run that. And when I started to really have a back in my mind, I was
Yeah.
like, well, I'm already it is engaging for friends.
It is, yeah. Yeah, I made it a little project.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Forget this like,
I'll connect to you, yeah.
Coaching, that takes time. So we can see that around here that I
Yeah, I know. I was like,
But,
doesn't happen often.
sessions are very.
I think like, oh, they were making us not weird like that.
There's a couple like times in my life, but it's like really intuitions. It's like my good friend Trish is like, I don't know, it's like,
What do you need?
like, I don't know, it just happens.
And
It's not
where
like
you
you know why.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just that it's like
You'll.
1 out of 1,000
Yeah,
times.
yeah. I'm glad you kind of felt that. I'm like,
You
she
know?
seems like somebody who's like,
And,
no, I'm trying to get
I actually don't really, I don't actually like people.
You get some.
Well, I do want it.
I like people broadly, but not like.
So, But I will call you. so much, thank you. Thank you, I'm so glad you came in here.
Me too.
Very honored. I'm so happy that you guys came in.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The same group as the other room,
Yeah.
there was two more transformational,
Oh,
things,
okay.
yeah, everything else was like surgeries.
We're all
and
like,
stuff.
yeah, self-care,
Cooking.
self-help, and.
Cooking.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
It's my first time coming to such an event, and I find everyone is there.
Yes.
Good, thank you so
So
much.
you know what's funny? When I was feeling down and I finally kind of figured out was because I actually achieved all the goals I dreamed of. Like financially having my own business and all that stuff, and I'm like, gee, I accomplished what I want. And there's still some inklings, like I want to be like a Bill Gates and a Elon Musk and all that other
There's
stuff.
nothing wrong with that.
But like it's like I actually I'm like enjoying it for a while, but there's some little inklings like, oh, there's other stuff. But I'm like,
Well, you know, that's.
I'm more depressed because I actually don't have I had a huge drive and I'm like, I accomplished it all. I'm like, oh yeah, I did.
This is the interesting thing. You know, as human beings, we're going to continue to grow until we die.
Yeah.
So when you have this feeling, you're in the right place
Yeah.
because you're growing still. I mean, even Bill Gates, or he's growing. He's doing other
He's
things.
learning, and you look at what's Mark Zuckerberg, he learned Chinese, so I think he's running this
Absolutely,
year,
absolutely.
master's year of books. So
Right. So no matter who you are, if you're not growing, you're dead.
Yeah, for sure.
So
And it took me a while to realize,
Yeah.
like,
So
I've actually done it all. I don't have any more goals.
But you know what,
Yeah.
I felt the same way. It's
Yeah.
like, poor baby, just whatever you want. I'm like, not really. I need to help more. I need to serve more.
Yeah.
That's my next thing, you know, serving.
Have you been part of Leadership Collier before? It's kind of like, have you joined Leadership Collier? Have you been part of Leadership Collier? I would recommend that if you get it.
Oh,
Sign up for it, because I was in it last year, and I met a lot of people, but I also learned about bringing to the community.
it's Leadership Collier?
Yeah, it's through the Naples Chamber. And it's a really great way of knowing what's happening in the community, where there are gaps, and how you can get involved.
I like that. Thank you. I just moved here
Oh,
actually.
you do?
Yeah.
I'm from New York. We're talking about your
You love your.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Okay.
I'm in Temple.
Oh, did you?
Temple, everyone is it's a big deal.
Oh my God, I know. Oh my God. So that's exciting because you know I do meet so many people from New York, New Jersey,
Boston.
Philadelphia. Is that where you're from? Boston? Yeah.
Boston.
Oh, Boston. Okay. And a lot of people say to me,